Welcome to my channel. I want to talk about a controversial play in the Cowboys-Lions game on Saturday. But before I do that, I have to thank every single one of you that comes to my channel and watches my videos. Thank you for liking them. Thank you for sharing them. Thank you for commenting. And I especially want to thank each and every one of you that has subscribed to my channel. I greatly appreciate all of you. I'm just amazed by the number of people that want to hear what I have to say, and I'm extremely thankful for each and every one of you that has subscribed. So, the Cowboys played the Lions on Saturday, and there was a very controversial play at the end that has gotten a lot of commentary. I can't talk with these headphones on. It's gotten a lot of commentary. Lions fans and the Lions team are claiming that they were cheated, that the referee was wrong, and that they should have won the game. But let's watch what happened.
They kicked the field goal, and here are the Lions with a chance to tie this game,
basically,
or maybe even win.
The Lions, with 1 minute and 43 seconds left in the game, drove the length of the field and scored a touchdown. So then their coach, Dan Campbell, who's supposedly or has a reputation as being a risk taker, decided to go for 2 to win the game instead of just tying it up.
As you said, if they score the touchdown,
So,
if they don't have the incomplete pass on second down
13-20.
by the Cowboys, this game's over.
Cowboys are ahead.
But that afforded them extra time. Second down and 10. There's
Here's
St.
the
Brown.
touchdown.
Head of steam.
Okay.
Touchdown.
So now the score is
Detroit.
20-19.
Wow.
And the Lions have already
And they're within
decided,
a point.
predetermined, that they were going to go for 2.
And the
if they
call
scored a
has
touchdown.
already been
'Cause they
made
want
by
to win the
Dan
game
Campbell.
right now.
They
Okay?
are
Admirable.
going
But-
for 2 in the win.
Wait till you see what happens.
Wow. Here's the end of it. This play that they're about to run, they've known all week. And get into this
So there's the
situation,
touchdown.
they need 2 points to win the game.
Now,
This
here
is the
comes
play,
2-point
and it's not
conversion.
always the same play from
Now,
1 week.
before we play this play, I want to show you something. If you look at the line, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 men on the line. You're required to have 7 men on the line. Okay? That's the rule. If you count from the right to the left, the 6th man is number 68, Decker. He's an offensive tackle. Now, according to Decker, he reported as eligible. But you notice that to his left is a receiver, Amon-Ra. Now, let's look at the NFL rule. I've got it highlighted here for you. All offensive players, other than those identified in Article 5 above, are ineligible to catch a legal or illegal forward pass thrown from behind the line of scrimmage, including A, players who are not on either end of their line or at least 1 yard behind it when the ball is snapped. B, offensive players wearing numbers 50 through 79, Decker's 68, unless they have reported a change in their eligibility status to the referee and have assumed a position on the end of their line or in their backfield as required by Article 5. Now let's go back and look at this. Number 68 is the 6th man in a 7-man line. To his left is Amon-Ra. So he is not on the end of the line. He's lined up in a illegal formation if he's an eligible receiver. Okay? So now let's watch the play.
2-point try.
Lots of
go
deception
ahead.
going on here.
3 for 5 on tries, and a timeout is taken by McCarthy
Cowboys
along the sideline.
Cowboys
And
called
you
a
nailed
timeout.
it. This is Dan Campbell.
Charles timeout.
Okay?
Dallas, that's second.
Because
The
they wanted to
defense for
see what
Dallas
they were
played
lined up
soft,
and what they were planning on doing.
Jared Goff just ate it up.
So
Parsons wasn't
They
a
called
factor.
timeout to, to get together
The
how they
Lions are
wanted to
3
defend
for
against the
5
play.
on 2-point tries. They've thrown it
And
4
here they're just
times,
showing
run
the
it
replay
once.
of the touchdown.
They've gone to Laporta twice and Montgomery once when they've been successful. Penei Sewell was phenomenal on that drive, handling Parsons.
Now,
And
here
with
comes the
23
two-point
seconds left in the
conversion attempt.
game, this to go ahead.
Everybody that had to make the play on this last possession did just that.
All right, now, see
Starting
number
with being able
68
to
on
handle
the
Micah
left.
Parsons, but Goff had
He
to get
puts
the
his hand
ball out
down
as
the
well.
ground. To his left is Amon-Ra, the receiver. So he is not lined up in an eligible position. Even if he reported as eligible, he lined up in an ineligible position. Therefore, he cannot legally catch a pass. Watch what happens.
Dan Skipper, an extra offensive lineman, comes in.
He pretends like
Play
he's
action.
blocking.
End
Slips out in
zone.
the
There
back.
it
Bam,
is.
wide open.
Unbelievable.
Why was he wide open?
The 2-point try is good.
Wait till
And
you
it's
find out
Taylor
why he was wide open.
Decker.
And they're
One of
all
the old
celebrating.
guard
Yeah,
that
we
was
just won the
saluted
game.
after the win
Now,
last
there's 23
week.
seconds left, and the Cowboys have a
Lions
kicker
are
who can
up
probably
by
make a
one.
70-yard field goal. So the chances that
What
Cowboys
a
could
moment
have
for this
scored
franchise.
and won the game
And
anyway
what a moment
still
for
exist.
the 8th-year
It
pro
would have been
Taylor
difficult,
Decker.
there's no question about it, but they still exist.
This crowd is
However,
absolutely stunned.
Now
about to see
flag
something
comes in
happen.
at the end,
they called a penalty.
and they've thrown another. The question is, did Skipper,
Illegal touching.
an offensive lineman, report? What else could it
Illegal
be?
touching by number 68.
So the call is an illegal touch.
I think number 70 and number 68 came in, and I'm not sure 68 reported as an eligible.
Well, 68 is Taylor Decker, their left tackle. Skipper came in.
Now, again, look at the lineup. Number 68 has his hand on the ground. To his left is Amon-Ra, number 6. Therefore, he is not eligible, period. Now, you have to ask yourself, Detroit claimed they practiced this play. If they did, and they had Amon-Ra on the left as they do now, then they were practicing an illegal formation. Why would they do that? Perhaps because they wanted to deceive somebody. They were hoping they could get away with it, but they didn't. They got caught.
Reported. And 68 is there at left tackle, and he's the one who ends up
68
making the
just
catch.
slides
Right,
out.
but he's on the end of the line, and
nobody's
he's been
covering
playing
him.
that
Why is nobody
ineligible
covering him?
position. So if he's going to be
Well,
on the end
you
of the
see?
line and be eligible, he needed
gonna
to
see.
report as well.
Wow.
At the end of this,
So
why
that will
nobody's
back it
covering
up,
him.
and the Lions will have to do it again.
Now look
Well,
at
you see
Campbell.
Dan talking to him, and
He is bent out of shape. And it's funny to me that he's bent out of shape because of something you'll see in a minute. When a player reports as eligible, it's up to the referee to tell the defense and to announce it on the loudspeakers in the stadium. And both Dan Campbell and Mike McCarthy have both admitted that they heard it. Okay? But you can hear it for yourself. Listen to this.
Va que haber terminado,
Number 70
pero le
is an
regalaron
eligible
un
receiver.
tiempo fuera de...
Did you hear that? Number 70 is an eligible receiver.
Va que haber terminado,
Number 70
pero le
is an
regalaron
eligible
un
receiver.
tiempo.
You hear that? The referee announced to the world that number 70 is an eligible receiver. Every player on that team had to have heard that. The coaches say they heard it. So, if they really intended 68 to be an eligible receiver, why did they not stop the referee at that point and say, whoa, 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 wait a minute, you got the wrong guy? You see, the referee announced that 70 was eligible. He also told the Cowboys, so guess what the Cowboys did? They accounted for 70 in their defensive scheme. They did not account for 68 because he wasn't eligible. And he wasn't lined up in an eligible position. So why would they think that he would catch the pass? They wouldn't. They just wouldn't. But you're going to see in a minute what the Lions do is really deceptive.
You know, I can't imagine them having
now
that
he's all
play
bent
in
out of shape.
and
Whoop,
him
whoop,
not
whoop.
reporting. Because
You tried
that
to
would be
pull a fast
stressed.
one. You tried to pull a fast one and you didn't get away with it. Move
Throughout
on.
the week. That is hard to believe.
Well, let me ask you this. Now that it backs you up, do you kick the extra point and tie the game? They leave their offense out there to try to convert again.
Yeah, from the 7-yard line. This is aggressive.
So here they are attempting a second time to score the 2-point conversion. This time the Cowboys will intercept it, but they also get a penalty.
So Decker didn't report. He caught the 2-point conversion. They threw the flag at the end of it. And now a flag on Parsons. This one's picked, but Parsons came across. There's a flag on the play. And
So the second pass is intercepted, but Micah Parsons was offside, so it gets called back again. So we have a third attempt.
hold all tickets.
Yeah, they definitely got Micah Parsons in the neutral zone.
Now, on the third attempt, I'm going to let Troy Aikman explain what happened, because he tells it perfectly.
Defense, number 11, moved into the neutral zone prior to the snap.
So let's do it again.
Well, how many more plays does Ben Johnson have up his sleeve?
And Parsons definitely in the neutral zone. And the ball is sitting just inside the 4.
And there has been no hesitation by Dan Campbell on what he's doing. Even after the penalty, no question in his mind.
Here we go. Goff gets rid of it. Incomplete. And now the Cowboys maintain their lead. James Mitchell, the tight end, couldn't make the catch. And the Cowboys finally able to exhale. What a finish.
Well, Detroit got exactly what they wanted. And as good as Goff was on that last drive, this throw was not. And if he hits Mitchell in stride and gets it on him, he gets the 2-point conversion. But the ball was low. You're going to see they push up with Laporta to give Mitchell room on the route.
Here again is that first try that was successful, but Taylor Decker, 68, did not report.
Yeah, and Joe, pick which one you want. Number 1, he's not covered by an eligible. So it's an ineligible downfield. It's illegal touching by alignment. It's an illegal formation.
Bingo. The referees actually had an option of calling 3 different penalties. Illegal formation, illegal touching by a lineman downfield, and illegal alignment. I mean, come on. Let's play this back just a second here. So you heard Joe Buck say it again because he tells
But
it
the ball
perfectly.
was low. You're going to see they push up with Laporta to give Mitchell room on the route.
Here again is that first try that was successful, but Taylor Decker, 68, did not report.
Yeah, and Joe, pick which one you want. Number 1, he's not covered by an eligible. So it's an ineligible downfield. It's illegal touching by alignment. It's an illegal formation.
So any one of 3 penalties they could have called. Any one of 3, okay? Detroit was obviously doing some deceptive stuff here.
They're all 5 yards. Take your choice on which one you want here. He needed to report if he's going to play that position. And Brad only announced number 70, one number. So I would guess that he did not report, and he should have.
Now, after the game, Decker insists that he reported. But you watch this when he does, because they're going to show.
So that moment for Decker, as I said, part of the old guard that was honored by Dan Campbell. Here's the...
Now they're going to show the onside kick attempt. But, of course, the Cowboys called time because they wanted to see what their plan was so they could alter their alignment. So this is the first
This
attempt.
doesn't count either. They blew the whistle before the onside kick try.
Prior to the kick, charge timeout.
Dallas uses their last timeout. Decker was a part of that salute at the end of the game after the win over the Vikings in the old guard and the turnaround. And you know, you had the moment of ecstasy for the Detroit Lions here that's erased by the penalty. It doesn't take away from what the Lions have accomplished and what they hope to accomplish going forward. But barring a recovery on this onside kick try, these two teams will leave here 11-5. And that NFC Eastern Division crown is still alive for the Dallas Cowboys, while the Lions are guaranteed no worse than a number 3 seed. What a game. Onside kick try is handled by the person that it should have been handled by. Of course. Because this night belongs to CeeDee Lamb. Jimmy Johnson at halftime, but CeeDee Lamb the rest of the night.
Yeah, what a wild finish.
Now, we're going to watch what led up to the announcement of 70 as the eligible receiver. And I want you to look at this closely because this is important.
Here it is again to go back
There's
to this
the referee.
play to give you every look
Now
we
you
can.
see three men heading towards him. On the left is Decker and another offensive lineman. And on the right is Skipper, number 70. Now, you need to understand, Skipper has reported as eligible several times during the game. So you see the referee right here. He's pointing at Skipper. He sees him coming in, and he says, okay, he's the eligible receiver. It's not the first time they've done this. This is like the third or fourth time they've sent Skipper in as an eligible receiver. So the referee looks at him and he says, okay, he's eligible. Now, my understanding from watching tape of various NFL players is that when you report as eligible, you don't really want the other team to see it, which doesn't make any sense to me, and I'll explain that in a minute. But you don't really want the other team to see it. And so you go like this with your hands in front of your chest to the ref. Okay? Tell me if you see Decker move his hands at all.
Comes in, he goes to Brad Allen and reports.
No moving the hands. Now, let's go back just a hair. Okay? Now watch Skipper.
Here it is again
Watch
to go
Skipper's
back to this
hands as
play
he's
to give
running
you
on the
every
field.
look we can.
Oh,
Skipper
oh,
comes
what's
in.
he doing with his
He
hands?
goes to Brad Allen and reports. The left
So,
tackle, Taylor
referee
Decker,
runs to the defense.
did not. And as
Says
you said, John Perry
number
was
70
uncovered
is
anyway.
eligible.
Yeah, it's 3 foul.
All right? Now, let's go back and hear this again. It's important that you hear this, and I'll tell you why in just a minute.
Va que haber terminado,
Number 70
pero le
is an
regalaron
eligible
un
receiver.
tiempo fuera de...
Number 70 is an eligible receiver. That was Brad Allen announcing that 70 was eligible. Guess who heard that? Mike McCarthy and Dan Campbell. Both of them admitted after the game that they heard him announce 70 as eligible. Now, you got to ask yourself this question. If the Lions wanted 68 to be eligible and they heard the referee announce 70, why? The clock was stopped. They weren't using up any time. Why did they not go to the ref immediately and say, no, that's wrong. 68 is eligible, not 70, and get him to correct it? Well, because then that would draw the attention of the defense. And the Cowboys have already stated that they had practiced these trick plays all week, and they were prepared to cover 70 if he came out of the backfield. They were not prepared to cover 68 because he was not announced as eligible, and he was not lined up in an eligible position anyway. So he had no business going out for the pass. Now, whether the Lions did this deliberately or they just were dumb, which I have trouble believing, they screwed up. The Lions screwed up. 68 was covered up by a receiver. Therefore, he was not eligible, even if he reported as eligible. So from the get-go, before the ball was hiked, it was impossible for him to catch a pass legally. Now, if they practiced this, and they practiced it with Amon-Ra to his left, then they practiced doing this two-point conversion from an illegal formation. And that would tell me that they were hoping they could get away with it because they knew it would work. Obviously, it's going to work because the other team isn't prepared for it. But it didn't work. And now they're blaming the referees. Shame on them. They had ample warning. They were told on the loudspeaker that 70 was the eligible player. They knew 70 wasn't eligible according to them. If that were true, why did they not stop the referee at that point? Because they wanted to get away with it. And they didn't, and now they're pissed because they didn't get away with it. Well, guess what? It is shameful to me that the Lions are allowing fans to think that the refs rigged the game. That's just not the fact. The fact is they committed 3 different violations. He was not lined up in an eligible position. Therefore, it was an illegal formation. And he went downfield from an illegal formation. Therefore, it was illegal touching. You can't have it both ways. You cannot say that you did everything right when it's clear and obvious that you didn't, and when it's also clear and obvious that you were told who the eligible receiver was. You claim that that was incorrect, and yet you did nothing to correct it. So, at first when I saw this play, I felt bad for Detroit. I felt like, oh man, that's a heartbreaker. But now, after reading the rules and considering the formations and looking at what happened, no, I don't feel bad for the Lions at all. They did this to themselves. There's a phrase, hoist on your own petard, that fits perfectly here. If you don't know what it means, look it up in the dictionary or online. The Lions stepped on their own foot and they got caught and they lost the game, and they deserved to lose the game. That's all I'm going to say. If you disagree with me, I don't care, because I know I'm right. I can see I'm right. It's obvious I'm right. The rules say I'm right. The referee announcing that 70 was eligible and Campbell admitting he heard that says I'm right. All right, that's it. As always, I pray that you, my viewers, will live abundant lives, that you'll be healthy and that you'll live long lives, and that God will keep you safe from harm. And I pray that He will do the same for every single person that you love. And I pray also that you will be anxious for nothing, but in all things, through prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, you will let God know your requests. And the peace that passes all understanding will keep your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. This is the Vietnam Era Vet, out.